Execute Order 66.
You are not prepared!
It's over 9,000! Hadouken!
You're listening to an Oddcast.
So, welcome to What an Oddcast. I'm Jared Minikheim. With me, as always, we have Anthony Denny, and reoccurring, reoccurring guest we have Mr. Jeremy McClarty over in our armed forces.
Thank you for your service.
Well, thank you.
You're not welcome, but all right. So today is
You're an asshole.
So today is the Jeremy special. We're calling this one the Jeremy special because he wanted this topic really bad and he wouldn't stop fucking bugging me about it. So we're doing cryptid kind of creatures today. I looked up a whole bunch of ones that were really just fucking oddball and out there, just to do it. On top of that, I do have a couple of things I want to go over before we get started. But yeah, this will be the Jeremy episode. Right off top of the gate, we should be going to YouTube. This one should be on there, and then there should be more coming after a bit there. We'll see what happens there. With the YouTube thing also, you'll be able to listen to it wherever you want, because I know most of you have the YouTube Plus, so you'll be able to, do your whole thing, have your phone locked, do whatever. Also, we have that Patreon. Don't forget about that. $2 a month helps out the show. Anthony's actually coming up with his own podcast he wants to do that he's wanted to do for a while. And we'll, it's looking very good, so we'll see what comes of that. But yeah, so on to this. We're talking these creatures here today. Are you boys ready for that? Are you sure you're ready?
Yes.
All right. Well, welcome one and all today. The Oddcast, as we said, they're discussing very elusive hunts. Today is cryptids and less known varieties of types of creatures. And of course, I'm Quaven. You all probably remember me from the other episode there. I gotta go hunt me a wascally spider, man. So you all have a good day, and hopefully I don't fucking kill myself again. So you'll have a good one now. And thank you to Craven. Guys, any thoughts on what we're gonna discuss today?
Many.
All right.
A lot. Well, it's actually just 5.
5 thoughts.
5 pennies?
5 cryptids.
Oh, I thought you were going to give me 5 pennies. That would have made my day.
No, I wish so. That would be like 5 cents richer.
You stingy piece of shit. Anyway.
Before we dive into these, for those of you who don't know what a cryptid is, you uncultured swine.
Oh, he's just jumping into it. Just insulting everyone. They don't even know you
Exactly.
yet.
I know, right? Well, if they don't know me, they need to go back and watch the other episodes I was on here for.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Two-parters.
Does this look like a video series, you piece of uncultured shit?
Watch, listen, I don't care how you do it, mentally picture it, touch it, feel it, doesn't matter. Go back and watch them. They're blessed.
Be recorded.
This what?
My face can't be recorded.
I know, because you shatter every lens.
You'll be cursed for eternity.
You already are.
So yes, Jeremy, what is a cryptid? If you're going to be so fucking insistent and jump the gun, what is a fucking cryptid then, you piece of shit?
So, cryptozoology is a study of creatures that may or may not exist that science can't prove that they do not, or they actually do exist. It is a fine line. You're looking at mostly Bigfoot, aliens, and various types of other creatures.
Let's back up a minute. I don't know if you can count aliens in that one. I feel like as much as they could be, that's like a whole nother branch of stuff there. I don't think you can.
It is.
I don't think you can lump them in.
It's a whole different branch, but they're still considered as a cryptid, just a little bit.
In that case,
they are.
Well, in that case, Seth is a fucking cryptid. He's a lizard man.
Well, the lizard people are technically cryptids.
Oh my God, Anthony! We need to get a hold of Seth and sell him for money. We just found a way. Oh my God!
To become billionaires overnight? Yes.
Yes.
But aliens are technically they're not really cryptids, but they kind of are because you can't really prove that they exist and you can't really prove that they don't.
I can.
It's just like Bigfoot. Bigfoot is a cryptid.
Hey, Bigfoot has been on the show. He is very real.
Just because you have big hairy feet does not make you Bigfoot, brother.
Hey, leave me out of this.
You leave my little Mexican alone.
So cryptozoology is the study of it. Cryptids are the specific name for the creatures as far as identifying what kind of category they are. They are cryptids. Okay.
You know, speaking of cryptozoology, do you guys know what today's sponsor is?
If it's Scientology, I'm going to shit bricks.
No, actually, it's Crypto Scat Coffee. The perfect sip, the perfect warmth. Sometimes a shitty aftertaste, but you come to expect that.
How do you find these people?
Oh, they just find me.
They find you.
Continuing on, Jeremy.
No, that's pretty much about it. We can roll into
that's
the
all you
monsters.
had? That's all you had?
Yeah, that's all I had.
All right.
So you wasted my time over nothing. You brought all this up for nothing.
No.
You piece of shit.
I educated the viewers.
Well, this has been Oddcast. Thank you for listening.
Gotta educate them. You automatically just start throwing names out there. You can't explain what it is. I mean...
Okay. Well, with that, I guess we'll continue on then. All right, so the first one we're going to start with, gentlemen, is a Filipino cryptid, or rather folklore creature. It's called the Matrucalan, or the Virgin Taker. And yes, I said Virgin Taker.
I don't think that's how it's pronounced, but we'll go with it because I couldn't find a correct pronunciation
I'm
of
gonna
it.
pronounce it that way because that is how it looks. If you want the spelling, you want to piece Matruculan.
Matrucalan.
See, but it is a Philippine folklore, so I imagine it's said much faster. Not to be racist, it's just like
much faster, and some of those letters are like, yeah.
I don't know the cliche accent. I was gonna do something, but I said it in my head first, and then I realized, oh wait, that's Italian.
See, now we're already going off the rails.
Cool.
Now I'm being told that we are being shut down by Disney. Well, somehow they managed their way on set, so I guess we'll just pack up now.
Why did you bow to the mouse?
Not only are we banned in China, but Disney hates us too.
So this creature is of old-time folklore geared towards young women to scare them out of premarital sex. The creature is said to the creature, or quote-unquote demon, is to resemble a demonic small humanoid bat with short fangs, small tail, fangs, claws, etc. But it does vary story to story, as it is classified as an evil spirit. The creature itself seeks out young virgins it does the most horrendous thing possible. It becomes invisible after stalking the young woman, and while she's asleep, it impregnates the virgin.
Now,
it's Jesus, y'all.
Now, this is weird, but why would that scare women from premarital sex? If it only hunts virgins, that would just make me instantly like, all right, well, I'm not going to be a virgin now.
I question this whole thing too. I really couldn't understand it because it literally in every description, it's like, yeah, this was told as like, don't go out and have promiscuous sex and what. But it's like it does. I don't know. I guess the whole basis of it is like the whole point is like don't have impure thoughts until you're ready because this thing will come hunt you out. So you can just be like a girl. All right, think about it this way: you're just some Filipino young girl, and like you see some guy, you're like, oh man, I'd love to just ride his face. This thing just comes out of nowhere, and it hunts you down to impregnate you, and we're gonna get into what happens after that.
Yeah, I think
It
that's
gets
might be like at least one part of the lore, because what I
Right?
found when I was really intricately researching this one, and this one is
here he
very
goes.
hard to research. So it's really not that common spoken
Oh, here
anymore.
we
It
go.
used to be spoken much earlier in the Spanish days, and actually
Ha-ha.
derived not from the Philippines but from
Right.
Spain originally.
Ha
I know
ha!
Spain.
Yep. So most of the actual recordings of this creature, and most of the sightings and all of that have been archived into religious books and religious texts that have been held in very old churches throughout Spain and the Philippines. But none of that has been released to the public. It's strictly off limits to any outsiders. So we can only go off of word of mouth here. So there is some aspect of it that, Jared, you are correct on, but that's part of it. It's not for impure thoughts. It's to prevent the young women's in some areas, and why the story is told to them. It's to prevent them from staying out too late or going out and hanging out with the wrong crowd. It's to scare them to basically stay loyal and stay near the house, to prevent that. Some fathers have even stated that have come over here and they've actually been interviewed about this creature or asked about this creature. They're like, yes, it is a story that we do tell our young daughters and all that, so to try to keep them away from the rough crowd, so that way they can actually grow up and stay with us, because there is a high level of human trafficking within the Philippines and within Spain that would result in them going missing. So that's why they came up with that lore instead of telling them the actual truth. Well, there's a lot of men running around town that are just kidnapping women to sell you as sex slaves later on down the road. Okay.
No, my daughter, you must understand. There is a evil thing that will come find you if you do not come home at exactly 9 o'clock. It will hunt you down, impregnate you. And let me tell you, my daughter, it waits for the baby to grow before returning and ripping out the unborn hair of spawn and feasting upon it. And sometimes the creature not only devours the fetus, my poor girl, but it will eat the woman as well. My daughter, you must come home. It's nothing to do with being raped mercilessly, maybe murdered. It is simply because this thing will fucking kill you.
This thing will rape you mercilessly.
But
Yes.
it will be invisible and there's nothing you can do, like some Freddy Krueger shit.
Like you won't be able to feel it. It's like ghost stick.
Well, that escalated pretty quickly to ghost stick.
Well, yeah, so that's what it does. And the only way to protect the woman that I was able to find was for her lover. So apparently, if she has a boyfriend, it's so fucking confusing. But anyway, is for her lover to swing it was translated to butterfly knife over the woman's womb while in labor. I assume because it's silver, maybe it wards away the evil spirit. I don't know. Unless you're just having a knife fight with some fucking demon. I mean, I don't understand.
It is exactly like that.
See, my daughter, what I must do, because I love you. I must pray with this butter knife here.
Actually, the father could not. The father could not.
Oh, well, then she dies. And oh, my daughter, what have I done to you? No.
It is
my
her
daughter.
lover. It is the woman's lover. So whether it be her boyfriend, her fiance, or something like that, if she is pregnated before marriage, she's pretty much fucked, and they consider it the actual demon that did it. Even though pretty realistically, I mean, we all have done sex ed, and we know how babies are formed. So yeah, it wasn't because of silver. It warded it off as like pretty much because it could turn invisible. It's still, you can actually grab it and feel it and all that. It's not entirely invisible or out of this plane of existence. It's within this plane of existence. It just has camouflage.
So
you're stabbing it.
So like predator camouflage.
That is probably okay. That makes more sense, I guess.
See,
Huh.
I told you I was doing research when you called me about this episode.
Fucking nerd.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah.
All right.
Awkward silence. All right, let's continue on.
All right. So continuing on.
Nerd.
I hate you. I hate you, Dad. So next on our list, this one I had to pick. The name completely caught me off fucking guard. Yarama Yahoo.
Yarama Yahoo?
Yarma
Yes.
Yahoo.
Now this one is a very interesting one. I fell in love with reading this one because it was just so fucking dumb. It's
Okay, I just Googled this fucker. What a picture this thing is.
Oh, believe me, the pictures will
it's
surprise
great.
you.
Time for more of that cryptid scat coffee. I can taste the Yeti.
Oh my
A bit nutty.
god.
Oh, I got a hair in my mouth. Huh. Anyway, so this creature is a legendary creature found in Australian Aboriginal folklore. Ooh, it's old as shit. The creature, according to legend, resembles a frog-like man with red skin, a large head, large mouth, but no teeth. But it's a vampire? Oh, well, that, my friend, is why it has basically octopus hands and feet. I couldn't fucking
It
keep a
does
straight
not.
face.
It
It has
does
suction.
not.
It has suction cup. Suction hands and feet. And you know, as I said, it is a vampire type. So you may be asking, well, how the fuck is it? Like that doesn't make any. Well, the creature lives in fig trees and only hunts during the day. Not unlike any other vampire you may have heard of. This guy, he fucking waits for some poor fucking soul to wander under his tree. And then when he's not looking, he strikes like a fucking frog, man. He sucks the victim's blood out with his suckers on his appendage. And then he swallows you whole, sucking the water from your body. And then it goes to sleep like an asshole. And then after it wakes up, it spits you out. Then, when you are slowly just trying to come back to what the fuck just happened, you realize you are redder than you were before. And then it swallows you again. And repeats until you become the Yaramayahu. As it does this over and over. The only way to escape its clutches is to pretend you are fucking dead until sunset, because for some reason, unlike every other fucking vampire, this thing goes to sleep when the sun goes down.
I mean, that makes sense. I just like the specificity that it lives in a fig tree.
Yes, yeah, it was very specific. It was a fig tree. It was the only tree that this thing liked. And I'm like, what is it, a fucking jaguar or Australian? Like, it only likes the fig tree. It's like, do you know what a fig tree is? Like, do you guys even understand? Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Are you sure you're not just getting hit by koalas? Like, I don't understand.
I like that
they put it to the test, and they actually believed it was koalas, but after a while, they're like, it doesn't make sense. So
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I think the fact that it turns you into itself, into one of its own, that's
like
weird.
It turns you into one like a vampire would. Like, a vampire can turn another person into a vampire, but this is just so fucking weird that it just swallows you. And it's like, oh, man, I need to take a nap. That was a big-ass fucking meal, man. And then it just spits you out. And you're like, oh, my God, why am I so red? And then it just repeats over and over and over again. That's a living hell.
So it is, but it isn't. So it's like a vampire, but it's not, because the sucking the blood out of you
it's so
is
dumb.
basically, it's a neutralizing tactic to neutralize its
It
prey.
has leech arms and feet. Can we be realistically? It has leeches
suction
for
cups
appendages.
and hands like a tree frog. That's where it comes from. It looks like a 4-foot tall person that's red with a giant frog face. It is like straight out of a manga or an anime. It is literally a little frog person.
I'm just impressed that I can swallow a whole human.
So
Right?
yes, what it does is that is its way of reproduction, as well as it's shortening
That's
you.
its way of fucking. If you don't realize that, get the fuck out of Cryptids 101, bitch.
It literally swallows the individual whole.
It
It
fucks you
sits
by
there and digests
swallowing
them.
you. It's
It
an
spits you
intense
out,
hooker.
and as you get spit out, you find yourself to become shorter and shorter, regardless of how tall you were, and redder, and you slowly start to turn into this creature as it slowly consumes and regurgitates you every single time. They're not sure exactly how many times it takes to fully transform, but it's definitely a weird one for the books. Yeah, it's
And coming in first place, we have I don't know how to fucking pronounce that, but it's some weird thing from Australia as the weirdest fucking creature I've ever seen in my life.
The Yahoo.
I just love that fucking name.
I know it's got a
It
badass
literally
name.
broke the name down into parts when it came up, because I was looking it over and it just broke it down into parts like, yeah, no, this is how you pronounce it. Believe me, you don't want to try.
I'm gonna name my first child Yahoo.
It just becomes a demon fucking frog. The frog from hell.
Robert.
Now, boys, let's get back. Let's go all the way back. Let's go in the way back time machine.
Oh, I love going back.
Like now we're going.
Back
We're
when
back.
Shaggy actually sounded like that.
Back when I gave a shit, man. So, we're going to Ireland in the 1700s.
Ooh, gordy.
Yes. Now, what I want you to and further, but we're gonna start in the 1700s because that's where it really became more vocal kind of thing. As I look this up, anyway, I want you to imagine this as I describe it. Follow us along at home, kids. Imagine a large-ass otter, half dog, half fish, with a long snake-like body, but covered in thick fur. What you are seeing is a Dilharchu, or waterhound, of old Irish lore.
Fucking what?
Imagination. The waterhound. Basically a giant fucking otter.
This one is actually really interesting.
I mean, are you saying that the last one was interesting? The frog creature face name?
Actually,
that
the
one was
demon
boring.
frog?
so with the other two that we just recently discussed, it's mostly off of word of mouth. I mean, there's not a whole lot of like information around it.
You hang on a second. Hang on a second. Let me go a bit further, you motherfucker. Don't you even try swooping in with that shit. Now, you may ask, where the fuck does this thing live? That's the same thing I ask myself every time I look at Facebook. Well, it lives in freshwater, isolated loos or rivers in Ireland. So when you're just out for a peaceful picnic by the river, just remember, this thing might be fucking watching and measuring you up. In fact, guys, to fuck Jeremy over here, there is actually at least 2 gravestones dating back to 1722 that list this creature as the cause of death.
So I'm gonna break your balls here for a second. There's more than 2.
Well, it was when I was looking into it, it was put as 2 gravestones at least.
Yep, I also found where the recent sighting was too.
Okay, well, hang on a second. Now, you may be asking, how does a large otter keep killing people? Well, let me tell you. Despite the creature's large size, it moves. Really didn't matter if it was in land or water. One story of an encounter was that the beast kept pace with a full galloping horse. To put that in perspective, the top speed ever recorded was 55 miles an hour. On average, they still go 30 to 40. So this thing, it moves that way in water or land. So either way, this thing is rather quick for how big it is.
I mean, have you ever seen a fucking hippo?
Exactly. This thing's... Yeah, think that way. Anyway, now, Jeremy, what is it you said you found about recent and so on?
So there have been recent sightings, and I even have the locations. So it is said that a farmer was actually out dealing with his livestock one morning, and he saw the creature running across his fields, across the road, and going up the hill towards a lake, which is the only lake on this island. It's the
Drain the
last
lake.
known sighting of it. So it's found on a chill.
Just Trump appearing on that lawn. Drain the lake. Drain the lake. Like, oh no, he's infected us.
The lake is found on a chill island west of County Mayo. The lake
Gesundheit.
Shaheen's Lao.
This is the part of the show where we'd like to say sorry to anyone living in Ireland at how badly we probably just butchered everything.
My apologies, my Irish people. I am not familiar with the tongue as my parents did not raise me that way, but I am trying.
And he suddenly becomes a little Italian man. We'll be right back after these paid messages.
So there have been several recorded deaths of this creature, and the gravestones are marked with an otter-shaped creature, signifying that they were killed by this creature. So far, the count is not 2, it's 5. 3 of the graves were marked but
Stacking up
masked
them
by over
bodies.
time. Oh, yes. So they believe that this creature has actually been hunting for quite some time, even before the ones in 1700. They found one dating back to, I think, as early as 1500s.
Oh, wow.
And so they're looking into definitely more. But the last known sighting was on Ischil Island.
There we go. Really?
Which is, there's only one way on the island other than by boat, which is very fascinating. It is very remote.
So this giant little otter is still out there terrorizing, trying to murder people.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that this is some sort of like really aquatic creature that comes with the land, like maybe like a kind of like a polar bear.
I don't know. One day we were just down by there, and all of a sudden this big fucking thing comes running out, and I'm like, oh, that must be the Darbachu. And they're like, no, that's a hippo. I'm like, no, it's a Darbachu. And then it ate everyone.
Hey, I have a question for you, Jared.
Oh, what's that?
How many potatoes does it take to kill an Irishman?
1.
No. 0.
Ha, that's terrible. Sorry to all our Irish listeners.
You motherfucker.
What do you expect? You're on What an Oddcast. I mean, if this offends you, I'm sorry. It's normal. So before we continue on with the last of our list here, I do want to just make a quick shout out to one fiend. Anthony?
Goats.
Because...
Darka.
Because we're starting off, as I had been saying, December, which you can follow us on Oddcast Network on Facebook, at Oddcast, and on Twitter. Again, we have the Patreon, Oddcast Network there, $2 a month, help the show. Anthony has a podcast we're already sketching out that he wants to do, and we just recently started up Fireside. So we got a lot of stuff coming, and that helps all the time. Seth also just got one of 2 shirts that he's getting because he's part of the show. Ooh. And he has a specialized one that'll come to him, but he has another one just to kind of show that just something that I know is more something that he'd do is the best way I'd put it. He's going to have some pictures for that later on. But yeah, that's something I just wanted to shout out. But Fiend there, he writes really good fucking horror. Anthony here got to read one of his beautiful books. Beautiful by the fact that it's fucking gut-wrenchingly awesome horror. Anthony, what were your thoughts on it?
Well, I have many thoughts. Some I cannot explain because they are spoilers, but Fiend, you know how I feel about that. But no, it was good. It kept you on your toes. It was teeth-grittingly painful to read, but in a good way.
Yes. And if you'd like to know anything more, you can find him over on Amazon. You can find all of his books there. He has many, many short stories he has published in many different works there. His novella, Essence Asunder, which is what we were just referencing to there. Ton of good work. Go find him over on Amazon. You can also find him on Facebook. Check him out. But anyway, back to the show here. Guys, so now we're going to go back to present day for a moment. Let's fly all the way to Africa. Boom, boom, boom. Man, these flights are just like really fucking long. You ever realize that?
Well, I'm happy that Oddcast Network is paying for it, not me.
Wait,
yeah, I was about to say, these are fucking expensive.
All right, well, anyway, Zulu mythology. Here we find the Tikaloshi, or Tokoloshi. An evil-spirited gremlin that the Zulu believed a shaman could send the creature to vex his enemies, which would cause them anything from harassment, causing illness, even fucking just straight up murdering them. They're described as short, hairy humanoid-like figures that are able to swallow pebbles to become invisible, allowing them to attack and stalk their victims. So basically, you're getting killed by a baboon here. Let's be realistic. They're just sicking baboons on people. How fucking just, that is like some straight primal shit. Like, all right, well, I don't like that guy. You know, I don't like that guy. You know what? I'll sick this little fucking gremlin thing. All right. Well, how do you do that? Well, I get this piece of meat, and you see that mandrill? I'll just slap it in the face with it a couple times, and then I'll throw it at that guy, and it'll be possessed by this little gremlin thing. Man, it's gonna be awesome. That's how I like to imagine this whole thing got started. It is somebody trained a fucking baboon to kill somebody, and they just started calling it something else. And they just had some guy that would go up to him, poke him in the face with a stick, get him agitated, and then just unleash it on the dude they wanted dead. Or you know what I mean? Am I wrong here?
No, I don't think you're wrong.
Somebody stop me!
Sure, I'll stop you. There's
really?
actually many forms.
I was about to say, you don't have anything to add in here, Mr. Hotshot? Mr. fucking asshole?
So, actually, I do have a lot to add to this one. This one has confirmed accounts, which actually caused a lot of concern, I believe, with NATO and 6 different nations within Africa.
Really?
Oh, yeah. This one is very true and spooky. So, there are many forms to this guy. The Tikoloshu or Tikolushi, there's many different forms. Some say it's bear-like, boar-like, lion-like, baboon-like, even gorilla-like in nature.
You know, some might even say that there's one that looks like a demonic Yoda with a furry counterpart that's friendly.
Your penis does not count.
And the crickets go soaring as I make a Gremlins reference, and no one gets it. All right, that's been my time. You've been a great audience. Have a great night.
And now he goes and cries in the corner.
You know, I was trying to figure out where you're going with that. I was like, I couldn't think of it.
To be honest, I caught the gremlin part, and then I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to switch this up a little bit.
Oh, you don't know what? It's fine, guys. Shit together. All right, so yeah, that's wow. So a little gremlin is causing a bunch of shit. That's fun.
Yep.
That's
not
fun.
only that.
Who would have thought Gremlins was based on real life?
So it's actually a demon that can be summoned by an evil shaman or a demonic shaman to wreak havoc on an individual's life.
So this is almost like the skinwalkers we talked about earlier, but obviously you can't control something, so it's more like a taboo thing.
Yes, it's by basically possessing a hot iron poker as it burns over a magical flame or an enchanted flame, and then you jab it into your subject.
You know, I just like to imagine the enchanted flame is like Gandalf coming over to your bonfire and being like, look, I can change the colors. Ooh, it's enchanted.
Throw a little bit of potassium in there. See what happens.
Master Splinter just pops out. Turtles, where the fuck am I?
Fuck, did I go to ancient Japan like that one time those guys did?
Oh,
Don't forget
God.
that happened.
Oh, the Tikoloshi!
So,
Ninja Turtles in Africa! Radical!
oh, that's so much copyright right there.
Nah.
So,
Nah, it's originals.
This has been a
I
paid
gotta-
message by Nickelodeon. But no, so that's cool. That's not bad.
So the sorcerer enchants the hot poker after getting it red hot and jabs it into the dead body of whichever he wants the Tikaloshi
Yeah,
to
it's like a reverse
inhabit.
mummy.
Yep. And basically it has a zombie-like appearance, screaming and howling in pain due to the scorch marks from the hot poker being jabbed into its brain.
God, that must be deafening.
Oh, yes. It causes havoc. It literally wakes people up at night. It'll sit there. It'll sneak into the house and be quiet for a minute.
Oh,
You'll hear
God.
it moan here, hear it moan there. And then if you're not careful...
Take it, baby, yeah.
Oh, I can hear them. Oh, I see them. I'll just wait. I'll let them finish, and I'll just wait creepily in this house.
Sorry, was that going too far?
Well, you're not wrong, because this thing is very creepy, because if your bed is low enough, it will eat your toes.
Oh, you like
Oh,
mayonnaise?
fucking
I'll
shit.
give you some mayonnaise.
And then...
I need to change this helmets. Ugh.
So the individuals that believe in this myth really wholeheartedly will actually raise their beds above 4 or 5 feet, and then which will cause the demon not to be able to physically harm them. However, if the demon can't reach you, it's going to destroy everything it can touch around it.
Yeah, that's a gremlin.
Flip dressers, destroy like windows, smash in doors,
Gremlin.
take them off the hinges,
Gremlin.
flip furniture, tear it up. Yep, pretty much like a
Gremlin.
gremlin. Now from the spooky part.
gremlin!
The spooky part.
Oh,
In-
spooky part.
2009, multiple tribes in 5 different countries. I think it was upwards of 6 to 12 different tribes.
Ooh.
Um,
5 to
came
6?
into contact with a woman screaming for help and pain, wishing or asking the villagers to come away from their village to assist her.
Help! You
claiming
must get away
to be-
from there.
Claiming to be
Save me,
a woman
Mario.
going by the claiming to be a woman by the name of Lavishnia. It caused such an outrage with police and NATO and all that because it was sounding like an American woman.
Native.
Um,
Okay.
Yes, it is causing a lot of issues with NATO, I guess, because NATO actually has confirmed reports of this, even though that they don't release it, but the tribes have released information about it. But even the news, there was even a news story in Africa about it, about this happening, and it all happened simultaneously within the same day to 6 different tribes in different parts of the regions, and none of those tribes communicated, which is the
Dude,
spooky
that's
part.
fucked.
They all came back with the same name, too.
Ooh. It was the crazy white woman, I tell you.
Yes, they actually did
Oh
a
my
lot
God,
of
I'm
searching
actually
for
right.
this woman, but they could not find her.
That's creepy.
Yep.
Hmm.
And that happened in 2009.
Well, guys, while we're in Africa, why don't we talk about the Groot slang? This one I wanted to discuss because it's straight, seems like something out of Lovecraft's universe of, gods and shit. Fucking awesome. So now, Groot slangs have the head of an elephant, but the very large, slender bodies of giant snakes. The image I found of one was literally an elephant's head, but where the mouth should be was just slit all the way back with razor sharp teeth like a snake. It was fucking terrifying. But these massive creatures are said to be ancient survivors of the Earth before Earth, destroyed after the Earth formed as we know it now, and are believed to have lived in the deep caves of Richardsfield, a mountainous desert region in South Africa. How do you feel about that shit?
Elephant snakes.
Are there any
Why'd it have to be
confirmed kills?
elephant snakes?
Just fucking Indiana Jones. Oh, why did it have to be elephant snakes?
I'm pretty sure if Indiana Jones saw the Groot slang,
I'm
he would
pretty
just
sure
drop
he'd
over
fucking,
dead.
yeah, I'm pretty sure he'd fucking kill himself. Like, I don't think he'd even try. Anyway, these primordial creatures are said to hide their way from anyone who seeks to, seek and destroy them, i.e. the gods. Interestingly enough, it's as unbelievable as they are. Get this shit. It's believed to be the reason of a mysterious disappearance of the British diamond magnate Peter Grayson. He had gone to the caves in 1917 in search of diamonds, but never returned. And due to the environment, no evidence was ever recovered, and the cave system's pretty vast, so they never were able to find fucking anything. So it's believed that he got eaten by these things.
I mean, not to shit on everyone, but is it equally as possible that he just, like, fell in a hole?
Oh, well, I just got to follow this map exactly as they have it. Oh, he was eaten by the Groot slang.
I am Groot!
So yeah, that's the Groot slang. I thought it was just interesting, the fact that it was like a demon to the gods before Earth was Earth kind of thing, and like they were all destroyed when the Earth was made as it is, and blah blah blah. But it was just interesting, especially the fact that this dude's disappearance was immediately blamed on giant god snakes, not like falling down a hole or getting eaten by any of the other vast animals in Africa. Like,
God snakes.
oh, he was eaten by the Groot slang for going into the cave for the diamonds. Well, why didn't you tell him not to go? Oh, no. He has to figure that out himself. Prove his worth. Hey, man, that don't seem right.
Either he will come out with a diamond, or he won't.
I mean, they
Won't
do
come
that
out
with
a diamond?
they do that with
No.
kids. They do that with kids over there. You know, once you reach a certain age, you have to prove yourself as a man. You actually have to go kill a lion with, your bare hands.
Hey. So, guys, to round out our creatures I have here, I have a fun one that I found after I'd already looked up the other ones, and I was like, oh, yeah, we'll go with these, and, we'll do whatever. I found this one, and I couldn't fucking help it.
It is the definition of Anthony's sister.
Now, let's go all the way back to Australia. Yes, I would like, 3 tickets? Yes. No, can I just, hey guys, you want, first class or just coach, or what are we doing?
Coach, mother.
Okay. Yeah, that'll just be, 3, yeah. What's the cheap? The animal carrier?
Can I get peanuts?
Shut up.
They don't give peanuts anymore. You get a cookie and shut up.
I want peanuts.
Alright, so yeah, just the animal carriage, that's the cheapest? Yeah, no, I'll take it.
Can I tell you how many fucking times I've lost out on a snack on an airplane because I've been dead asleep?
Wow. That's been a fun fact with Anthony.
Yeah.
So,
No, I get on an airplane, I just go to bed.
this one here is a more recent manifestation, and it arrived in Tasmania and Zanzibar.
Ooh.
The Popobawa, a demon. In the day, it appears as a normal human. By night, the demon becomes a one-eyed, flying purple people eater. I mean, bat-winged monster. This demon attacks and sodomizes men and women alike in the dark of night. And it's most vicious to those who do not believe in it. Hail Satan! I mean, purple flying purple mon. I mean this thing, Popobawa.
So, are you telling me that the thing, it's a one-eyed monster, and it goes around sodomizing people?
Yes, that is exactly
Man, they
what
could
I'm
not
saying.
have been any more on the nose.
You do
so
not
yeah.
believe in me. I sodomize you.
This is a flying cock.
Cock eater.
So the first attacks were recorded in 1965 on the island of Pemba, and attacks continued every few years with large number of attacks in 1995, which also caused and was likely because of the mass hysteria it made coming over the news that this thing was just sodomizing and attacking people.
Man, so it's a newsworthy rape demon.
Yep.
Newsworthy raping you, demon.
That is...
In the morning. So yeah, that's now to
All right,
round
I'm
this
gonna
demon out.
I'm going to paint a picture real quick.
Oh, I was gonna give you to really help you paint a picture here.
Okay, no, go ahead.
The demon is said to be the cause of night terrors or waking dreams. When a person is lucid in dreaming but not fully awake, leaving them vulnerable to its attacks. The name Popabawa is Swahili for batwing.
Isn't the Batwing what Batman flies in? I got a new name for Batman's fucking vehicle. It's the Popobawa.
I have to call the Popobawa.
The what?
The Batwing.
Why don't you just say that?
Popobawa means the same thing in Swahili.
So it appears as a normal human during the day, right?
I assume a normal person. It just says a person. I don't know if they're normal.
Could you imagine,
but...
like, meeting a friend at the grocery store? I haven't seen him for years. Like, hey, want to come over, play some like Cards Against Humanity later? Sure. You come over, you can have a couple beers, and then you look at it, you blink, and then it's the Popo Bawa sitting in front of you.
Just a giant dick with bat wings coming to sodomize you.
So not only is it a dick, but it's a dick with a dick.
This just sounds like a really bad acid trip gone wrong.
But that's the last creature I had. And this was Jeremy's topic idea, and I wanted to do something different because, I mean, the way I put it is that most, like, main cryptids, like your Bigfoot and stuff like that, most people already cover. So it's like, why don't we just dig for some really oddball shit? I had a lot of fun with this. Flying dicks, demonic frog things. Hey, you know where that Australian vampire thing? You know who he gets along with?
Who?
Well, he gets along with me because I am the sugar-free vampire. You'll remember me as Splendor. I mean Morbius. I do get along with him. He reminds me of my 90s Spider-Man radioactive spider blood. Most people remember it by that. But that is how I was in that show. I had suckers on my hands because they couldn't show blood. So we get along quite great. I actually had him fill in for me for that show because I was like, well, I need blood. They're like, well, we can't do that. So I had him sub in for me there. It was great makeup work, great makeup design. Thank you for having me. Anthony, how's the wife?
Not wife yet.
Right.
She's doing well, though.
Ah, right. Well, I will see you on the fireside later. But you have a good one here. And remember, a giant flying dick will sodomize you, gentlemen. But have a good one. Yeah, have a good one.
You as well, Morbius.
So yeah, that's all our little creepy crawly creatures and monsters of the mythos.
Ooh.
Which is also a good time to say that that's what Anthony's idea has been, that we're currently in the work of.
Yep, you heard that right. A full-time myth, creature, all that shiz.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Indeed, he actually sent me over the intro earlier, and I really liked it, and I think I hope everyone here will love it too.
That's interesting. I'll have to check it out.
Yes. And hopefully guest star.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, guys, you can catch us over on Facebook. You can also catch us over on, Twitter or Patreon. Oddcast Network or at OddcastN. But until next time, guys, I'll see you. I'll see you on Fireside later this week, and we'll catch you with the What an Oddcast later this week too. But as always, thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Jeremy.
Wow.
Short, my friend. You cut it so short. It's. We go longer.
I don't know. I don't really know if I like you guys that much.
But we all hate you too. It's okay. But we
fair
go
enough. Fair enough. All right. All
We
right.
go
The camera.
longer.
The light's
It's-
still red,
it's-
so I guess we are still going.
I mean,
So I actually have some news I wanted to talk about that came up.
Who?
Number one, Billie Eilish won alternative rock at the AMAs.
I don't even know who that is.
You don't know who
Neither do
Billie
I.
Eilish is?
No.
Nope.
I don't even listen to the music, but I fucking know the name because she's fucking everywhere. But let me just say, she is not alternative rock. This is proof that the American Music Awards are fucking garbage. They don't even know what fucking genres are anymore. She's like alternative pop. Now she's like Post Malone. Like she really likes like the rock people. Like I guess she's a huge fan of like Green Day and shit. But it's like you're pop music though. Like you're just pop music. Like you're like an edgy pop. How the fuck did you win alternative rock? But then at the same time, you know who the other two people for that category were?
No.
Panic at the Disco and Imagine Dragons were the only other two for alternative rock best. And then she went on to win like top artist of the year award. So she won two. But again, she's not fucking alternative rock. And like her first like actual statement was literally, she said in her statement was, I can't even believe I was thought of for this category. And she's like all happy, and I'm like, yeah, because you're not alternative rock. No shit.
Yeah.
Number two of a story I saw, The Mandalorian is now the most requested TV show, passing Stranger Things, for a series on the internet. My immediate thought is no fucking shit. It's more sought after than Stranger Things because you're doing it episode weekly. It's not a whole season, so people really want to see everything that's going on, but you're releasing it weekly. No fucking shit. It's more
And I mean,
wanted.
The weekly, also, I love the weekly releases. It keeps me hype.
Yeah,
And
because it gives you something to look forward to.
If you have not been watching The Mandalorian, oh my god, you need to go do it. I can't stress it enough. I went in very skeptical. I was like, I don't know. I didn't personally care for the last Star Wars I did. Wasn't really something I cared for. So I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like what they even do with this. Because I figured it would just be like a Boba Fett reach for the fandom. And I was like, but it's actually really fucking good. And I like it. So... Fuck you, Disney.
I can put you in your place, huh? I got some fucking news.
News.
So, everyone knows Monopoly, right?
No.
Yes.
One of the greatest board games ever made.
I don't know about greatest
Sure.
board game ever made, but I know it.
I mean, chess is pretty much, the greatest board game ever made. No, it's not. There is another version of kind of chess, but it's not chess.
Checkers.
I don't know. No, it's not. It's on the tip of my
Monopoly.
tongue.
I mean, categories.
Nope.
Pictionary.
Nope. It's a very, very hard game. There's
21 questions.
Scandinavian chess.
no, it derives from Japan, I believe it is. It's like little white and black pieces. You know what I'm talking about now? I just can't remember the name.
I do. And
Yeah.
you know what? I'm drawing Chinese. No, not Chinese checkers. God damn it.
I want to say Pai Sho, but I know that's incorrect.
Pai Sho. I believe it's Pai Sho or something along those lines.
And once again, I'd like to
yeah.
say sorry to all of our Chinese listeners for rudely, probably mispronouncing and probably insulting you. We are sorry.
We failed English.
Anyway,
Go on.
so Anthony, what's your news?
So,
with something with Monopoly.
Monopoly has been released a new edition
Oh, of course they did.
called the Longest Game Ever Edition,
Oh my fucking god.
Why the fuck is
What?
that a thing?
where there are now 66 properties,
Oh my god.
which is 3 of every one. There's only one die.
That is
And
garbage.
if you want, you can rip the bills in half so they have equal value, so you can have up to double the money. So
That's garbage. That is hot garbage.
you can get it for $20.
That's horrible. I hate this idea so much.
You know,
It is-
Monopoly is a great game. I like it. but after the first 30 minutes, people start hating each other. It usually doesn't last an hour. Let's be honest, okay?
All right, so
it does not last longer than an hour.
Oh, and the only way to win and end this game is for every property to be owned by one person.
What? That doesn't even make any fucking sense.
You cannot get bankrupt.
What?
Yep, if you're out of the game, if you don't have any money, you just give yourself to someone else and you keep going.
What? No. Mark Wahlberg, calm down. No. What?
I might be getting this.
That's okay. So let's break away from that. I have a little something that I thought was we haven't done this in a while, but I actually have something I want to recommend.
Uh-huh.
So listen up to this, y'all.
Dear God.
So no, so last night we rented a movie and it was the Peanut Butter Falcon. It's like a modern day Tom Sawyer story, but it was I had my skeptic because I don't like Shia LaBeouf in everything he's ever been in,
You shut your face.
I don't mind him in some things. I'm sorry. It just, everybody has bad movies. But anyway, it has Shia LaBeouf in it, but this is going to be kind of spoilery kind. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's a Down syndrome. He's not a kid. He's like 22, but he doesn't have anywhere to go, and nobody can take care of him. He's in his place, gets out, and then he runs into Shia LaBeouf, and they go on like basically a Tom Sawyer thing, and it takes place in like the South by Florida. I think it's like in between Louisiana and Florida, the way that, because it's like a big swamp. Anyway, so it's all about them on basically a Tom Sawyer thing, going down the river, him like. Shia LaBeouf had some traumatic stuff that they go over in like some flashbacks. So then he ends up finding taking care of the Down syndrome was like his brother, and he just it's a really touching story, and it was really cool. It even has an appearance by Jake the Snake from WWE. If you don't know Jake the Snake, he was a really famous wrestler back with Macho Man, Hulk Hogan days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he makes a cameo in this movie at one point, and it was fucking hilarious. This movie has a lot of times where you laugh, has some good comedy in it, but at the same time, it does really hit the feels. It was really good, and I recommend it. Peanut Butter Falcon.
For the longest fucking time of my life, I thought Shia LaBeouf's name was Shyla, and his last name was Buff.
I thought the same fucking thing.
But no, his name is Shia.
Shia LaBeouf.
So his name is Shia.
It's a pompous asshole name. Can I just be honest? Like, having three syllables like that in your name, you're immediately labeled as an asshole.
I can make you feel like he's not an asshole by translating his name.
Oh, here we go.
Praise the beef.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Kidding me?
I am not. Shia means praise, and LaBeouf means the beef.
In what language?
French?
I don't know. Probably. Sounds French. Shia LaBeouf. Translation. No,
I'm going to mute my mic again so I can continuously throw up.
Oh, it means thank God for beef.
That's hilarious.
It is French. It is French.
Haha. Yeah, the le kind of gives it away, but...
Shia LaBeouf.
So yeah, that's my recommend other than The Mandalorian. Is I saw that and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And tomorrow I'm going to see Knives Out, so I'll be able to let you know how I feel about that on the next Fireside. So stay tuned for that. Bye-bye.
Knives Out?
Yes. Yeah, Knives Out. It's a movie that it just came out. But it by the look of it, it's like they go to their father. It's a whole bunch of famous actors, but they're all like siblings, and they have to go to their father's like will signing kind of thing. And he ends up dying, and they get like an inspector, like a big inspector guy comes in, and he's all like, "Oh, anybody could be the culprit." It looks like a who's who, and who done it kind of thing going on. It has like Jamie Lee Curtis, Chris Evans. It has like just about anybody you can think. Like, it's a big fucking cast, and it looks good. So I'm gonna go see that tomorrow. But I'll let you know how
Okay.
I feel about it. But it looks good. But yeah, it's like,
Okay.
who killed him and why kind of thing with a twist. Yeah, the Jamie Lee Curtis, Chris Evans looked funny as shit going back and forth as like siblings or whatever. But overall, it looked really good, so I'll let you know. Anything else you guys want to bring up? Any closing statements before I wrap this out and call your verdict?
As always, hydrate or dihydrate.
Hydrate or dihydrate? What?
Well, Jeremy, do you have any final things to say here?
I'd like to talk about my day, but I am a soldier, so I can't. It hurts.
It's
By the
okay,
way,
honey.
again, thank you for your service.
Thank you for your
Well,
service.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to kill you both in your sleep.
And I also just want to make real quick. Thank you for the feedback. I've been seeing some feedback coming back to me from other people and whatnot. And thank you. Everything you said's been really great. I'm gonna go over some on Fireside. So
Yeah, there's this one girl. I don't know how to pronounce her name, so I'm not going to butcher it. But she knows who she is.
Jesus Christ. Well, guys, from all of us here at Oddcast, until next time, see you later this week. Stay odd, stay cool, and if you're somewhere where it's fucking cold, stay warm. Bye-bye.
Bye!